Welcome to the first episode of Long Island TikTok, and here is our first guest, Becca Bastos, and we are so excited to have you. This series is going to be all about Long Islanders who made it big on the platform. Obviously, we know that TikTok has really blown up over the last several years, so we're really going to dig right into it, and we want to know more about how you got started on TikTok.
Hi. It was accidental, which I feel like is what you hear from most people that got big on the platform during the pandemic, especially. Yeah. I started posting in, I think it was like March 2020 when everyone was on TikTok, when we were all home. I studied musical theater in college. I graduated in 2018. I was like, I'm going to be on Broadway. I was doing the theater route. Never thought I was funny. Like, that was not I never had even done like a funny play, nothing. And then I would make like videos making fun of my mom, and I would gift them to her because she loved it, because it would make her laugh. So like, and for her birthday, thank you. So like for her birthday, I would like make a video and show it to her, and she would pee laughing. and you know, during the pandemic, people were like, my friends were like, just post it on TikTok, like it's gonna do well. I was like, no way. Who's gonna relate? And then I did, and it kind of blew up overnight. And I had no idea it would be my career now, fully 3 years later. And it's just crazy how much the platform's changed, how much the influencer, was that a word at that time? It kind of was, but it
wasn't really that big yet.
No.
I feel like it was more for Instagram, and now there's like a difference between like an Instagram influencer and a TikTok influencer.
Exactly. And I don't know, I mean, that's definitely part of it, but I like to say I mostly consider myself like a content creator, and then like influencer is part of it, and that's how, you know, make your living. But I'm very lucky, and it kind of just was like luck, I feel like, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know you mentioned your original career path to being on Broadway. Now you kind of shifted to these comedy videos. Are you still hoping to kind of get on that path, or has TikTok kind of completely changed that career path now and you've completely rethought everything?
It completely changed it, and I never thought that it would. I was auditioning a lot at the time before the shutdown. I was living in Brooklyn, and I wasn't happy doing that, and I wasn't fulfilled, and I had no idea what the future was going to hold there, like entertainment-wise, because I knew I'd always wanted to be in the entertainment industry, just didn't know how. And then when this happened, it kind of is just so freeing to like make your own content, and like when you're an actor, you're always put in a box based on how you look and like what ages you can play, and a script and who, you know, your competition and who's auditioning, and it's like, will they even see it? And when you make your own content like this, it's been so freeing, and it's just amazing to be able to do that and not put myself in a box. Now I can be like, well, I can play a 40-year-old man if I wanted, and so I'm like, I'll do whatever. But it's been great in that way. So yeah, full shift.
So what is that process like to come up with your content ideas and, you know, kind of from point A to uploading them on TikTok?
In the beginning, it was very much like I feel like it started as like an observational thing, just based on like who you see every day, like your doctors and your neighbor and your mom and your aunt and all these things. And I kind of, as I started becoming more experimental with like the characters I'd create and like more out there with them, because I didn't think people would relate. I was like, who has the same experiences? But it kind of turns out that we all do. Universal.
The Long Island mom is universal. I feel like I get not from Long Island. So many people are like, that's my mom.
I get comments. There's like, I'm from Texas and this is my mom. I'm like, what?
I thought the same.
They're all the same. Maybe, sure, not the accent, but like underneath it all, yeah. So that was so freeing to see, like, wow, a bunch of people from all over the place are relating to this, and that's like kind of the joy of it and the fun of it all. So yeah, I like usually have like a running list of ideas, and then I write out the scripts, and then kind of improv too. It's been helping me be better at improv on the spot.
So how often are you recording content?
When I first started, it was 5 times a week, which is crazy.
That's a
lot.
But
that, honestly, and I tell like friends who are trying to be more consistent with making content and like visibility and stuff, that helped build it so fast because when you're consistent, now that I have the platform and just like time-wise, I can't do that every day. So I would say like twice a week. I try to do that, and most of it's writing, honestly.
Okay.
So
do you dedicate like those 2 days of the week? Do you dedicate the entire day to just content creation?
It's changed since I started. Now that it's my full-time job, I'm working with BuzzFeed. I make content for them. I make content for brands, and I make content for myself. So it's like based on the week, I have to know. I kind of have like an idea of how much time I have to make my own content, how much time I'm dedicating to a brand, how much time I'm dedicating to this. So I would say it fluctuates based on the week. It can be like a really slow week, and I can be like, I just want to make like 3 of my own videos, which is the most fun. But yeah, it just depends on the week. But in the beginning, it was all the time.
So I know you're talking about filming like very isolated, but I know you've filmed some of them in public. Do you find like that more difficult, or like how was that experience? Like when you film actually like in a crowd, or like people will be like, you're doing this at a mall? Like-
Yes, that is scary to me. I've gotten better at it, but like once I let go a little. And then also I go to places that aren't like super crowded. But I did just film something at like a Mets game. But I was like making my brother follow me, and I'm like, let's like go in this corner. Let's go here. I'm so scared. So I've gotten a little better with that. But those videos do well because you kind of want to watch. I don't know, personally, like I'd like to watch those videos instead of like you being in front of a white wall. Like you're actually in the space. It makes it, I don't know, more entertaining. So I'm trying to get better at that.
Spieth, have you ever been recognized when you were like in public?
Do people recognize you?
It's weird, but it's so cool. It's nice to like know people watch, and still, because sometimes I have that feeling where I'm like, well, I started like 3 years ago and like still like doing well, and it's still my job, and like growth is still happening, but it feels kind of like, oh, you still watch me? That's so cool, you know?
Do people ever come up to you and say like, oh, I've been a fan since day one?
The other day in Target,
Oh
this
my
girl,
God.
yes, she
Leave
came
it to
me,
the
she's
Target
like,
people.
Oh my God. Well, I was telling my brother, I was like, that is my target demographic. I feel like you're in the girls' belt section. Like that is my audience. So I was there. Obviously, it's always when I look so bad. It can never have my hair, it could never be good if someone sees me. And usually it's like, are you this girl? I've actually been getting that recently where they show like my profile picture and it doesn't look like me because it's like I have makeup on, my hair's like curled, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is me. But she was like...
That's me on a Saturday night.
That's me on a Saturday night. Yeah. This really sweet girl was like, I've been following you for 3 years, like since you started. And I was like, that is really cool.
That's awesome.
That's rewarding, yeah.
Do you notice more of the recognition in LA or here on Long Island?
I would say definitely here.
Okay.
It does happen in LA, and that was nice because I was like, oh, wow, okay. People, it's not just the East Coast, but definitely here, as especially like in my hometown, in Target, you know, depends.
Do people ever test you with the Long Island accent?
No, thank God. But I've heard, I don't know what you think, but people say I don't really sound like I have a Long Island accent. It comes out sometimes.
I think when you're doing the impersonation of your
course.
mom.
Yeah.
Oh, the water looks delicious.
I was
It's
going to
more
say,
focused,
yeah.
but it's also like
On
so
purpose.
natural because I think all of us in this room can relate to that.
Yeah.
My mother does that.
Oh my God. Well,
But
that's just
I
how
feel
she's
like,
done.
I can't really hear it too much.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
now.
that's what people say. Like, I'll be home and someone will come up to me and they're like, I had no idea you're from Long Island. I'm like, wait, what? I thought that was my whole brand.
Coffee.
Water, mall, talk.
We had to do a little bit of research. We were like
Where is
hesitant at
she?
first, and then we were like, wait, we really think. And then I was analyzing one of your videos. I'm like, that's Tanger Atlas.
That
I
has to
know
be.
that.
No, oh, yes. Oh, my God.
I recognize that.
And that, like, I'll post it that day, and like 10 people will be like, I was there. I was in the area. I saw you in Abercrombie when you did this. I was like, oh, God.
I saw you in Starbucks. Yes. So your favorite drink is this?
Well, one time I was at a bottomless brunch, as you know how those go.
Oh, we do
And
know.
you do know. And we went to a Dunkin' Donuts after, like, just to get a coffee. And of course, like, was not looking great, not feeling great. Of course, these two really sweet girls, can we get a picture with you? I'm like, I don't want to see what the picture looks like. I'm like,
Yep, that's me.
yeah. So have to be on top of it.
So speaking of Long Island and LA, you just said you just moved. What are the biggest difference that you've noticed so far between the two?
I'd say like pace. of life, like overall. I would think it's very much like I came from living in the city, which is very hustle culture all the time, like go, go, go. Mm-hmm. Felt a little more isolating there too, because just like, I don't know, everyone's in their own world. Yeah, which is nice too, and I love New York, but LA feels like more grounding.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just like everyone's outside all the time, and you feel like more inclined to, I don't know, just like go outside. Everyone's friendly. People are friendly here too. But I would say mostly like the pace and the weather, obviously. Mm-hmm. And everything is $1 million there. Gas is $7.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it's gone down a little bit, but when I first got there, it was $7. It was crazy.
Wow. We think it's bad here.
Yeah.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
What do you miss from Long Island when you're there?
Bagels. That's my first stop when I'm here, bagels and pizza, because I will say the pizza in LA is so bad. It is so bad. I haven't found, like, some are okay, but it's so bad. And like my family and my friends, this is like the biggest move I've ever. I didn't have anyone there, and usually I'm very much of like a comfort zone girl. Like I went to school in New Paltz, which is like an hour and a half away, so I'd come home like on the bus. You know, it was an option, but being across the country is like a big one. And I just signed a lease for a place, so like I'm staying there now, and I'm like, okay, it's real.
This is really happening.
It's real.
Talk about the skits with your mom, or about your mom too, because what really inspires the way that you script those?
That's just fully like from memory and
of childhood memories.
Yes, that's the easiest ones because it just feels like I know how she speaks and like what she would say in all those situations. Obviously, it's very much like, what's it called? Just dramatic. Like she's not like that. She's like, you make me sound so mean. Like I don't sound mean like
she
that.
Doesn't sound mean
I'm
at
like,
all.
no. It's you know.
No, if you grew up
over-exaggerate,
here,
you know, at some point we're all going to be that Long Island
mom. And the nail salon.
Oh my gosh,
I can already feel myself turning into my mom sometimes. And I'm like,
there are certain things that I say that people are like, you sound like your mother.
Yes. Well, yeah. Someone just commented the other day. They're like, listen, I know this is a joke, but you're going to be worse than this. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Fully acknowledge it.
And it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, in the beginning, it was very much just like, wow, I can do her in all these situations that are like, you know, relatable. And then as time went on, I'm like, what if we just added her in? And so I slowly started adding her into the videos, and people like that.
Was she nervous to be on camera?
She like does her makeup. I'm like, it's really okay. Like she's like, I gotta make sure my hair's curly. Yeah, we're like going to Tanger Outlets. I'm like, we're making a video at Tanger, and she's like, okay, wait, what shirt should I wear? Like that type of thing.
Do you take notes of like the things she says now to like include in your skit?
Oh, sometimes, and my brother helps sometimes too. He's like, this is what mom just said, and you need to use this. Yeah. And my friend just texted me the other day. She's like, have you ever done mom like with Groupon? Because that should be. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. So like my friends help too. I'm like, oh, my little ghostwriters.
Yeah,
you can help. Yeah. So, and actually just being home is exposure for that. I just
you're
all
kind
the
of
ideas
like
come flooding in.
Yeah, you're experimenting right now as you're visiting home.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm working.
I was say, if you need content, just pick up the phone.
I
have to say, my favorite video, and I've actually shown my mom this video, is when you come home from break and she's like pretending, are you sick? Are you sick?
You need a blood test?
Yeah.
Hello, you gonna sleep all day? It's almost 10:30. The day's almost over. Come on. You're sleeping a lot. I'm worried. Maybe we should get you a blood test.
Every time.
Oh my gosh, that's my favorite because I literally have vivid memories of my mom doing the same thing to me.
Yeah. Every time I'm home, still. It's crazy.
So tell us a little bit about your life on Long Island. Tell us about where you grew up and what that was like for you.
I grew up in Mineola.
Okay.
Very small high school. I think we graduated with like 200, very small. Which I thought was the norm. And then I spoke to people like in college. I'm like, you had 2,000 people in your graduating class? Oh, yeah. So everyone knew everybody. You know everyone's mom. You know everyone's parents.
True.
They all come to the shows and, you know, you see everybody. You're in the Mineola American. And it was small. I mean, my family had grown up there, my dad's side. My dad went to school there, too. So it was very much like we stayed planted there. Yeah, close to it. And it was nice. Would I say it's a little sheltered? Yes. Going to college, I was like, oh, okay. It was very much like a bubble. But I loved growing up on Long Island. Loved the beach. The beach was a huge part of that, and just family, and everyone's like close. My other family was on Long Island too, actually out here in Melville, and so yeah, I enjoyed it. And then after college, I moved back here for a little bit.
I feel like that's always a move for Long Islanders.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Well, I was like, wait, I'm moving back here, but I don't think I'm gonna stay yet. I'm like,
yeah,
well, I
that's
don't know where I'm
always
gonna
the
go.
next question.
What was your mom's reaction to you moving to LA?
She very, very supportive, and honestly, she loves to come visit. So I think that she's like, okay, we're gonna go shopping. When
Oh,
I
my
visit."
daughter's a
Yeah.
celebrity
Yeah,
now.
oh, I'm not kidding. That's the exact words. She's like, no matter where you go, from Florida to LA to Connecticut, you get recognized everywhere. You're a celebrity. I'm like, all right, let's please. Yeah, she's super happy for me. I miss her a lot. She misses me, but it's good things. It's all good things because I never wanted to stay here forever. So, and she knew that. But just like career-wise, it's good. It's far, but it's good.
What is your favorite video or concept that you've created in your TikTok career so far?
That's so hard. I love, like, I don't know, things that are not so, I don't know. I do a pizza guy character that, like, is fun to play. I love playing a man. It's so fun. Also, just to, like, make fun of men. I love that. Just live for that. So I, like, recently did a car salesman one where I, like, actually bought a goatee. But usually I just, like, put eyeshadow all over my face. And that
Eyeshadow.
works for, like, facial hair. Yeah, it does.
Oh,
People say I look like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh my gosh.
When I'm a man. I'm like, you guys, please.
Honestly, I could see it.
They're like, you are not throwing away your shot. I'm like, okay. All the comments. So those are really fun just to, like, I would say the ones that are most exaggerated and out there are the most fun to do for me because it's just fun to make.
You know, there's a lot of talk right now about the TikTok ban or a potential one. And obviously the state of Montana already implemented that to their residents. How do you think that would shift your strategy since so much of your career relies on that?
Yeah, it's definitely a worry on the back of my mind all the time. But I feel like when you look in the span of, like, I don't know, the last 10 years, we've had Vine. It was YouTube at first. It's always, like, the platforms are always going to be shifting.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure TikTok is going to be huge for a long time, but it's like as time goes on and things change, there's going to be platform changes. So
There will be something else.
there will be some. That's what I always say. Like, no matter what, we're going to be on our phones. There will be something else. But I've learned so much from TikTok. Like, I don't know. It's news, information. Like, you're hearing people talk about things you usually don't. It's just like, I don't know. It's made me so much more open-minded. I love the app so much, but I know that if something were to happen like that, it would move to a different, hopefully. And I just kind of had to, like, trust that your audience will follow you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I try to grow my following on other platforms too. Facebook is big right now. They're implementing.
Really?
Yeah, they're implementing. They're trying to get. I mean, everyone is trying to be TikTok, right? They're trying to get their creators to post on Reels there.
Okay.
So there's a lot of
Yeah.
incentive there, and, like, there was monetization for a while,
Yeah.
and they took that away. Instagram, YouTube Shorts. So there's a bunch of different. So you want to diversify, so you don't put all your eggs in one basket. But I would say TikTok is my biggest, where I have my biggest audience. So it's scary.
sure.
Yeah.
I think this is a really important one for Long Islanders. What advice would you give young Long Islanders who are trying to make it big on social media? We have a lot of young entrepreneurs here on the island, and we're always writing about them and trying to explore, like, more people across the island. And we just see that most of their advertising or just promotion for themselves is on social media. So what advice would you give them?
I would say, especially if you're trying to be a creator, to find your niche. Like, it feels so, like, the internet is so big and social media is so big that it feels like no one's going to see what you put out there. And that's kind of what held me back for a really long time. I'm like, no one's going to see this and no one cares. But when you think about it, when you find the niche of people or, like, your audience or, like, what product you want to sell and to who, it will find the people if you just keep being consistent, like we were talking about before. Consistency was the biggest thing in growing my audience. And then I would just say, visibility, posting everywhere. Like I tell I'm like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, literally everywhere that people are. And I found like there are different audiences on those platforms.
There
so like
really
Facebook is a hugely different demographic than my TikTok. So I'm reaching different people on everything. And I would say, especially on Long Island, you want to reach different people because Long Island, sometimes it can feel like a bubble. And leaving this bubble, I'm like, oh, people have been seeing my stuff in other places too. I was like, in the beginning, I was like, it's just Long Island. But I would say, just diversifying and finding your niche and being consistent and posting everywhere consistently. You'll find your audience,
I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously even advice for us, too,
Right.
as a social team.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Becca.
Thank you for having
This has been
me.
amazing
Yeah.
and a great conversation.